Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue further, that is force and laws of motion. Last class we had studied about the first law of motion. According to the first law of motion, every object remains in its state of rest until and unless any external force, that is unbalanced external force, is going to be applied. That already we had studied. That is the first law of motion. And there what happens, children, actually there is a linear momentum. At constant time with constant speed the migration is going to take place. Today we will learn about the second law of motion. Before learning the second law of motion, last class we had studied about the momentum also. What is momentum? Generally the change of momentum depends upon the force applied upon the total time. So we can represent it as capital P equals to mv. What we can represent? Capital P equals to mv. Okay, so you can say that if an unbalanced force is applied to an object, then the momentum according to the second law of motion will be force equals to final momentum minus initial momentum and final time duration minus initial time duration. So that will be your second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to the unbalanced force applied to the object. Here children, again that same thing, the unbalanced force is going to be utilized. Now children, as you can see, when we will see this one, so we can write that small value, that is P2 minus P1 can be written as del P and T2 minus T1 can be written as del T, because we don't know the exact value. So we can write in this manner that del P and del T, it is very smallest value between that final momentum to the initial momentum, that is the difference, and the final time duration to the initial time duration. I hope you people had understood. Now children, this exact equation can be written as force equals to del P upon del T. We can write, because we are replacing the final to initial by del P and time duration final to initial by del T. Okay children, to, as you can see here, directly proportional sign is there. What is given there? Directly proportional sign. As directly proportional sign is there, so we have to replace that one. For that, what we will do children, we will suppose f is directly proportional to del P upon del T. So to replace this directly proportional, we can write f equals to any of the constant value k del P upon del T. This is a constant value. Okay children, so suppose if you are considering this k value as 1, so what will be? Force equals to del P upon del T. This change in momentum can also be written as, okay children, see here, so this change in momentum can also be written as P equals to mv. We are knowing this one already, that is momentum equals to mass into velocity. So this can be written in this manner also. Okay, then what happens children, again you can see here, particular mass will be constant, you can't change the mass. Okay, suppose 1 kg of object is there, so mass will be in a constant value, but the velocity may be changed as per the time. What will be the velocity? That final minus the initial velocity, and time also change. What will be the final velocity as per that? The time, that is final time to the initial time. So that value can be written in Taylor's form in this manner. So v upon t, that is acceleration a equals to v upon t. Acceleration equals to velocity upon time, that is final velocity minus initial velocity upon final time duration upon initial time duration. So we got the equation for the second law of motion, that is force equals to mass into acceleration. Force equals to mass into acceleration. I hope children this one is very clear to you people, and very important, the derivation part. one after the other. I am teaching directly all the three laws of motion. I am not teaching all together. One after the other you have to learn. You have to make practice of that, doing that derivation. Okay, children. Then see, children, here mass equals to, suppose, 1 kilo, acceleration is 1 meter per second square. So we can put the value and you will get the SI value, that is force equals to 1 Newton. 1 Newton, or kg meter per second square. Kg meter per second square, that will be the unit. Okay, children. Newton is the SI unit and it can be represented by the formula N. Then see, children, here one question is given. The force applied on an object of 3 kg changes its velocity from 2 meter per second to 3.5 meter per second. So the velocity 3.5 minus 2, final velocity minus initial velocity. Okay, children. In time period of 25 seconds, constant time period they had taken, that is 25 seconds. So here P2, P1 is not given. Only what is given? Initial velocity, final velocity, time is given and mass is given. So you can use this equation. Which one? Force equals to P2 minus P1 upon T, or mv minus mu upon T. So mass is constant, V minus U, you can write V value is your 3.5 and U value is your 2 and T value is 25. So you can easily calculate this one and you will get the answer. Hope you can do. And this one very simple. Mass and acceleration is given. Simply you can put the second law of motion and you can calculate. Okay, children. Just do the practicing. Next class we will continue about the next topic. See, children, why I am not telling you all together. If I will tell, then you will get confused. Okay, children. So just the third law of introduction I will just give you. What is the third law of introduction? Here, children, according to the third law, what it is given? Here one spring is given, one experiment is conducted. So what action we are doing, the same reaction you will get back. So every action will have equal and opposite reaction. Okay. So what we can say that? The third law of motion, every action has equal and opposite reaction. This is the third law. Means suppose you are throwing a ball to the wall, that ball will come back to you only. How much force you are going to apply over the ball, that same force it will bounce back to us. So that is the third law. Every action is having equal and opposite reaction up till its resistivity. Okay, children, I hope it is clear. Next class we will learn about the law of conservation of momentum. That is also very important.